I'm 43, got 2 kids, and we live here in Vegas. I have no desire to build up this big, huge business with a bunch of employees and team members and, having to manage people and shit like that. Like, I'm going for simplicity over everything else. So I've been leaning into, just in the last couple of days, to this new messaging called the 3-hour creator. And you're going to be seeing a lot more of me using that terminology, that phrase. I'm actually renaming our school community the 3-hour creator. And the idea is to get all your work done in 3 hours. That's it. That's pretty much it. And the tagline is done by lunch. Done by lunch. DBL, done by lunch. Get all your work done by lunch. So I'm going to walk you through kind of my day and how I kind of create content. Now, I'm probably not living the 3-hour creator lifestyle right now. I certainly could be. But typically I wake up about 7 o'clock. I have 2 cups of coffee, and then I'll go upstairs and I will adjust my ads. That's my first order of business. As I tweak my ads, I have spreadsheets where I track my numbers, and I look at different, what happened in the last 24 hours. If things were going good, I increase the budget just a little bit, 10%. You can't increase it too much. And if things going bad, I decrease it 10%. And then there's some other metrics that I look at, and I'll turn off losing ads. Sometimes I'll launch new ads. So that's my first order of business, is doing that. And then what I like to do is the one downside, I guess, I don't know if it's a downside, it's time consuming. I'm putting out content on Threads, and I get a lot of comments. And so I set a timer. It's called a tomato timer. Google it. It's 25 minutes. And I set that thing, and I comment on Threads. I reply to all the comments on my post in the last 24 hours. Now, I don't have Threads on my phone. I don't have any social media on my phone on purpose, with the exception of Instagram, for Instagram stories. That's it. And so I set this timer for 25 minutes, and I comment, and I reply to everybody's comments. And that's one task that I do. And if I have time left over, I will jump over here on YouTube. And I will do the same thing over on YouTube. I don't get nearly as many comments on YouTube. It takes maybe 3 to 5 minutes over here. So it's not as bad. It doesn't take as long. So I'll do that. And so that's usually kind of the second task. And then what I try to do, I'm not perfect with it, is I send out a daily email to my email list. If you want to join the newsletter, right down below. But warning, you will get emailed every day. But people love my emails. I get a lot of compliments. I get a lot of requests on doing a training on how I do my emails. And so I write an email out, and that usually takes me 20 minutes tops. It's usually like 10 to 15 minutes, But I've been doing email for a long time, so I'm not saying it's going to take you 10 to 15 minutes to write an email. But I get that done pretty quickly. And again, I use that tomato timer to time myself doing the email. There's something about a tomato timer. When you hit that timer and you see that clock rate winding down 25 minutes to 24 minutes and 59 seconds, for me at least, it forces me to focus on the task at hand. So I get done writing the email, and then I leave the house. I try to leave the house. I've been really good. I leave the house at 9 o'clock to do this walk. This week has been a disaster. Like right now it is 11:44. But I try to leave the house at 9, and I do this walk, and I record the YouTube video. It takes me about 45-minute walk, and then I go home and I upload it. I don't edit it. There's no cuts. It's just one take. I take a screenshot of the image of the video, and I upload that as my YouTube, as my thumbnail, I'm sorry. I will adjust the thumbnail a bit in Canva. I don't spend much time, 5 minutes tops. I'm not a graphic designer. I don't have a graphic design bone in my body. So all in all, the walk, recording the YouTube video, and upload takes me about an hour. That is it. On my walks, my videos are usually 8 to 12 minutes. What I do is I have clients who message me, and I will get back to them with voice notes while I'm walking. Kind of 2 birds, 1 stone. Habit stacking is what my friend Audrey calls it. And I think she got that from James Clear in Atomic Habits. So I will get work done as I'm walking around here, and I'll voice note people. I have 2 friends that are entrepreneurs, Audrey and Conrad. I'll voice note them. I'll listen to their voice notes while I'm walking. So then I usually get home, upload the video. It's usually about 10. This week has been a bad example. And if I hadn't written my email, I'll write my email. If I did write my email before the video, I'm pretty much done for the day. I have everything that I need to get done. And now there's usually stuff that I want to get done, things. Maybe it is, looking at my funnel metrics, trying to increase the average order value, testing different upsells, testing different order bumps, kind of nerdy stuff a little bit with the funnel and trying to get it more dialed in, so to speak. But the afternoon's pretty much open for, I can hang out with the kids. Like for example, today is Friday and we got a water park about 2 miles down the street here. And we got season passes to the water park a couple weeks ago. I bought them. And I'm taking the kids to the water park today after lunch. We try to do it every Friday. We do it once a week. And we're trying to make it like a Friday thing. And so we're going to go do that, and my work is, like I said, the need to get done is done. Of course, I always have ideas swirling in my head, and those are want to get done, but they're not like pressing issues. And I talked about this in a video right up here the other day about my 3 tasks that I try to do, that I do every day. I create at least one piece of content, which that's this YouTube video. I have at least one conversation with somebody in my audience. That's usually it's a DM or email, but sometimes it's a phone call. And since I email daily, one of the benefits of emailing daily is I get a lot of people replying. I'd say 1 to 3. I don't want you to think like I get 50 people replying. I get 1 to 3 comments, replies, and that opens up a conversation, and I can have a conversation, and they'll share something with me. And a lot of times I'll take that email or the conversation we had, and I turn that into a piece of content. Again, I talked about it in the video the other day. And then the last thing is I make at least one offer every single day. And by offer, what I mean is selling something. And every email I send out, I pitch my stuff. And it's not a hardcore pitch. It's in the PS section at the bottom of my email. I just say, hey, here's 3 ways I can help you. And I just link to that. And I average about 1 to 3 sales a day via email. I average 0 to 3 sales a day. I don't make a sale every day, but it's usually anywhere between 0 to 3 sales a day with email. Just a very casual, I drop a link down at the bottom. I sometimes will make offers on Instagram stories, but I'm not consistent with it. I'm pretty bad at it, actually. But that's really my day. It revolves around creating content. And I have this system in place that's taken me a fucking decade to build and figure out, and a whole lot of trial and error. But I have this system in place where I put out content and it's all leading people back usually to my newsletter or my website. I take these videos and I upload them to my website as blog posts. I use AI. And then I take my daily emails and I add them as blog posts. And I'll get into that. I call it the creator flywheel. I'll create a video about that. And so I'm repurposing a lot of my content. Emails go to blog posts. These YouTube videos go to blog posts. And then I share my blog post over on Threads, and I automate that. I schedule it with a scheduler I use called BlackTwist. I'll leave a link right down below. So it's automated. I'm in the process of actually hiring a virtual assistant to take my videos, take my emails, turn them into blog posts, because I'm sick of doing it. It's kind of tedious work. It doesn't take that long, but I just don't like doing it, But it's like a machine. I promote these blog posts, people find me from blog posts or YouTube videos, and then they go over to my website. And the thing is, I have the Meta pixel on my website. So it's a little piece of code that you can't see. And as soon as you land on my website, I have ads, and I have specific ads that I run showing it to people who visited my website. For example, I have a campaign that I continuously run, and they're called value videos. And what they are is just, they're value videos. There's no call to action. I'm not selling anything. I'm not pitching anything. It's usually a 60-second video, and I show it to people who visited my website in 14 days or less. So if you go to my website right now, adamdukes.com, there is a very, very, very good chance that you will see one of my value videos either on Instagram or Facebook. And again, I'm not pitching anything, but it's just me talking. Most of the times I've got this vest on, backwards hat. It looks just like this, because most of my video content looks just like this. So it's very congruent, but I'm kind of introducing myself. Hey, you checked out my website recently. I don't say that, but it's like, hey, I checked out this guy's website. Now he's sharing value on how to create a PDF, something along those lines. And I interchange these 3 value videos based on, I have certain metrics that I keep an eye on, I just uploaded a new value video today, and I stopped running one, and I just spend $3 a day on these videos, so it's $9 a day. And I just it's just like a nurturing thing. So I have this system in place, and that's what allows me this 3-hour creator workday. It's not, like I said, it's taken me a fucking decade to figure this damn thing out. And I really didn't have this realization until somewhat recently. I put it into ChatGPT and started talking to it and what I was doing. And ChatGPT complimented it. And then it spit it out, it worded it much better than I could. It simplified it. And I'm like, dang, that's pretty good. And then I started sharing it on social media and people are like, oh my gosh, you got to teach me that. So that's how I'm able to have this creator 3-hour workday. And then the next goal is to eliminate Saturdays and Sundays. I don't have to work those days, but I want to, but I would like to not work those days at all. So that's kind of how I have the 3-hour creator. And like I said, I'm gonna start talking about that more and more, but it's because I have this system and it's based on content that's working for me, around the clock, but a lot of it's pushing it back to my website, or they're getting on my email list. They get on my email list, I pitch them something, they see an ad of mine. Once you go on my website, you're gonna see a lot of me, for better or worse. So that's it. That's what allows me the 3-hour creator. Anyways, if you have questions on selling PDFs, drop comments, concerns down below. I'll do my absolute best to answer them. And I do these videos Monday through Friday. Well, I just walk around the neighborhood here in Las Vegas and I share a thought, a perspective, an opinion, a win, a loss, just kind of what I'm going through in business. I'm building in public. That's what I'm doing. I'm just sharing what I'm doing with you guys and gals. I'm sharing the lessons learned, the mistakes made, the fuck ups, so hopefully you can avoid those fuck ups, And so if you like this style of video, it's not polished. As you can see, I'm probably sweating all over. I probably got shit in my teeth, I don't overthink it. I don't overanalyze it. I just get out here and start basically rambling. Here I'm just yapping as I walk around the neighborhood. So hit that subscribe button. Also, this video right here is a hot video. It's how I average $540 a day selling simple, silly little PDFs. I posted that about a month ago, and people, I think there's over 100 comments on it. People are really, really digging that. So check out that video when you got a second. Rumor has it, it's better than Netflix and chill. Anyways, thanks again. Have a wonderful weekend.